Hi, I'm Dr. Pam and this is my sister Drinda. Hello. We're here to mention our daily sprays. You want to check these out. These are really cool micronized versions of vitamins, minerals, herbs, things you need to be healthy. We have for beauty, we have for immune function, we have for brain function, and also to keep your body more alkaline.
Yes, and I have the one for libido. We have two for weight loss. We have the sleep spray, and then of course the really good tasting one, the C and Zinc. So everybody, it's a great way to spray your vitamins into your mouth rather than swallowing pills. Check them out.
Check them out.
Thanks.
redpillliving.com/snarky, where you can get top quality Carbon Shield 60 products. Research shows that Carbon Shield 60 is 100 times more effective in removing free radicals than vitamin E and 172 times more effective than vitamin C. Carbon Shield 60 helps clear up your brain fog, so common in today's polluted environments, and it causes it to rapidly dissipate. Mental clarity, emotional focus, and vigor are increased with Red Pill C60. Energy levels raise and remain balanced throughout the day. People feel more internally connected, focused, and on task. Physical strength, energy, and virility return to more youthful levels. Attitude and motivation are greatly elevated. Get yourself the many life-enhancing benefits of Red Pill C60, and you can go to redpillliving.com/snarky and get the finest Carbon Shield 60 on the market. And while you're there, check out some of their other life-enhancing products, all from Patriot vendors, helping you to deep clean the deep state. Well, hello everyone. It's me, Deplorable McAllister, aka Linda Paris, and you can see my snarky website right here, where all my videos go, and all my affiliate links and etc. are here at McAllisterTVOnline.com. That's because they keep throwing me off of their platforms because I'm telling the truth, and they don't like that. So yeah, I got to thank everybody that helps me to do this. My Buy Me a Coffees, and boy. You guys are on fire, and I got to create a video about that. And thank you. And I think it was Shannon. I got to shout out real fast. I can't go to the actual email, but I think it was you. I think your name is Shannon. And you told me, we weren't talking. You left a post on the Buy Me a Coffee that Shelley Duvall always reminded you of olive oil. You actually made me spit out my coffee. Shannon, I think that's your name. You said olive oil. She looks just like olive oil. A little reminds. No, I think it is. I think she might have been the original model for that. You know, back in the day, in a previous life, when she looked just exactly the same. God, olive oil, perfect. Anyway, thank you to all the Buy Me a Coffee people, and also to my PayPals who've been with me from the beginning. Golden people from a golden place, and I love you. And you know why. Because you guys, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing any of this. And I also want to thank the people who send me things. I have not had a chance to go to the post office because I made this video instead. So I know you're going to appreciate that. But I will go Monday. And Monday evening or afternoon, I'm going to hook up with Laura from Laura's View and Tarot 2. And we're going to talk about what these people, they're maniacs. They can't get their adrenochrome. So we're noticing all kinds of weirdness and proof of the fact that they can't get it. And so we're going to talk about that. And also, Laura's going to do a reading on that. And of course, I always have to thank the people who shop here. Of course, you're getting amazing products. And that's snarkycbd.com, where you get the best CBD. It's clean, it's pure, it's 100% natural. It's a Patriot-owned company and also former military. And so they produce the highest quality CBD that you're going to get. I'm a longtime CBD user, and I only take snarkycbd.com, my daily choice. And redpillliving.com/snarky, where I'm getting all my vitamins and supplements now. And I'm telling you, I feel so much better. It is so helpful. And here you can find the ones. They've got the Lugol's iodine and the Sleepy Joe and all of that right here at redpillliving.com/snarky. Now, I went ahead and did let's switch over here. I went ahead and did a Christian 21 recap. So that's what I'm going to call this. I'm probably not going to make a new graphic because so much is happening so fast I won't have time. So when you see this graphic, you'll know it's the recap. So I'm going to recap for you. I did this yesterday. I listened to it and I wrote notes. And now I'm going to, read those notes to you and clarify all of the points he made. You can probably go back and listen to it and hear it now once I've recapped it, because it doesn't hurt to get an ear for what he's trying to say. But I always like to air the unvarnished him talking, because I think it's important. You can see his energy and how he really wants to get all this out. And all of that is important. So if you can understand it, it's stunning when he comes out with this stuff. If you can't, I'm going to do the recap. And that helps me too. That helps me in explaining it in the future. And we're not going to stop talking about this over and over and over again. Just like, that's not, different. It's just, not a conspiracy. Conspiracies went for real. I don't know what to do other than mock these people because I really don't like them. But I'm trying to put that all aside because I'm not in their matrix anymore. And I feel bad for them. They're going to have to learn the hard way. So there's your daily. Anyway, so this is turning out to be really interesting. It's filling in a lot of holes. So I'm going to end on I found a comment on Blue Water's channel on all this, and I want to end on a note and compliment one of the posters or one of the commenters on Blue Water's channel and tie something else in for you. But in the meantime, here's my recap that I did just for you. Okay, now I'm going to go over all of the points that I wrote down from the last video. And so if you watch it again, you can find where he's saying these things. And of course, part 2 is coming this week. I can't do it. I'm doing this now. So this is Saturday night, and it probably won't be uploaded until Sunday morning, but I feel like it's necessary for me to recap. Also, there was a really, really interesting comment on Blue Water's channel, and I want to shout out to that person and, do a little dive on that. So, starting with Christian 21, he started out by saying they're spraying us with toxins since World War II. And you cannot clean the sky and the ether from that much spraying and toxins and metals and stuff in 5 minutes. It's going to have to take some time. So another thing he says is all technology was created for the good in the beginning. In the beginning, all of the technology was created for the good. And I was listening to Alex Collier last night, and he says space travel has been going on for billions. not millions, billions of years. So all the tech was created for the good to begin with. And then, of course, they take everything and bastardize it and twist it for their own agendas. The white hats have been cleansing the sky, the ground, the trees, the animals, and us. All of us that need oxygen. They are flushing iron from the water system. And they've been doing this for 2 years. It cleanses us and all life, but the reptilians can't breathe. They can't breathe it. Once it's cleaned up, they can't breathe it. And it causes all kinds of issues with them. And I want to ask him later what kind of things happen to them when they breathe the cleaned up air, or I think it's more the healing stuff that is in the... They're not chemtrails. They're positive trails with all kinds of medications and stuff to heal the earth and the water and everything else. So, but it causes all kinds of issues for them at the same time. They can't breathe it. Plus, they have no adrenochrome. So they are really running out of ways to get it. And the clones, talking about clones, because clones are one of the ways that... that's their backup. And it says clones are going to be outlawed, because think about it, they have backup clones. The original people that the clone came from, they feel and dream and everything what's going on with the clone. So this is just awful. I mean, it's just evil, pure evil. So the clones will be outlawed everywhere, he says, everywhere inside Gateway 10 and beyond. Entire cities, they have created entire cities out of clones for a backup food source. They made them. They made cities full of clones for backup food source. And they absolutely need to release serial killers to cover for their crimes. They don't want these serial killers caught. And theoretically, they're playing, the shell game with these serial killers. They need the serial killers to cover for their crimes. They're lying about the population of the planet. There's a lot more people here, but they need that to cover for the people that are missing. Also, everyone in the legal system pretty much is involved in this. Sure, there may be one or two people scattered through, and I'm talking about more nowadays than it's been gradually building up to this. So, but I know there's a lot of really good policemen, and I'm talking lawyers and things like that. I'm sure there's good ones out there, but if you're a good one and you've been in the system, then you know that most of them are part of this, and that they need the criminal justice system not to work so that these people can be turned loose on the streets again. Also, they use it to generate fear. They'll say that, he decapitated his mother, and like Christian was saying, slipped through the cracks. He decapitated his mother. They put him in juvie. He got out. He killed a whole family for some, $30 or something. Oh, yeah, well, something happened and they didn't read him his Miranda rights, or some lizard-shaped lawyer got him off. So the guy's being released, and then he commits some horrific crime. And if he uses a gun, they're going to blame it on guns. So they really, when they lie, they don't just lie. Their lies are multifunctional. So clones are going to be just outlawed. And our whole justice system is going to change. It needs to. We don't have a justice system unless you want to call releasing criminals out into the streets a justice system, and also fattening the pockets of defense attorneys and judges and all these people that are on the take. And he says people need to understand the gravity of what they are about to learn. And that was what Q said. What you are about to learn should scare you. Well, if you're like me, at first it did. once you realize this shit might be true, you're thinking, God, it sounds like something that could happen. And then you go start looking into all of the UFO abduction sightings, all of the information and data that's out there that's been hidden from us. And you're scared. You're like thinking, what the hell? These things are eating us. And when the rumblings of it occurred, I don't know how many years ago, and people kept ignoring it and ignoring it. I remember at one point, I had heard something, and I don't even know if it was something from Roswell, but this had already happened, and I thought, but what if they are really coming here? Where is this going? Then I guess they're still coming here. That's what I was thinking. Why don't we take care of this? Why isn't there a more thorough investigation? Because if it's real, where's this headed? We don't know what their agenda is. And even my dad would never accept a lot of this stuff that's going on now, but he at least was open to the UFO thing, and especially Roswell. So since these things have been happening, and I've been thinking, what if this shit is real? What's going on? Are people dying, and where is this headed? And so now we know. Now we know where it's headed. And so only 60% of the population in the first realm are human. They've had a long time to hijack our DNA and our species. And they have taken full advantage of it. So the first realm, which would be the realm under the dome, the blue dome with the ice walls, and the ice walls contain plasma. They do it through natural resources, but they know how to build this shit. They've been doing it for billions of years. And that I heard that from Collier, Alex Collier. I was listening to him last night. All of the designer names are all high satanic priests. Versace, Vanderbilt, we already know Vanderbilt, Alexander McQueen, all of his designs were super demonic, red, black, blood harvesting. And there are 26 bloodlines above the 13 we know here. So a lot of these are these satanic priests, and they're all Venetian. And that's what I think goes back to Gloria Vanderbilt, the jewelry that it was wearing, and all of its, well, Q posted a photo about the jewelry, and I think one of those necklaces was sacrificial beads, and each red bead represented a sacrifice or a significant sacrifice that got this creature where it was. Most serial killers are allowed to be active. They're allowed to be active. It's not that they, it's not a flaw in the system. They're allowed to be active. And they were created by them, by the reptilians. So most serial killers are supposed to be out there being active because they were created by the reptilians. They could find these serial killers really, really easy and the drop of a hat, because they can see in, but we can't see out. So if they hone in on someone's DNA or something like that, I'm sure they have a way to hone in to a specific person and see, just like Auntie M, just like in the Wizard of Oz when the Wicked Witch is looking in the crystal ball. And she could see in, but Auntie M can't see out. She's lost. She's looking for Dorothy. So that's what they're doing. They can see in, but we can't see out. So they could find these serial killers as easy as 1, 2, 3, but they don't. They purposely allow them to be active. And they need as many of them as they can get out there. Also, talking about they can see in, but we can't see out, that extends. That's not just if you're circling our our surface or whatever, if you're flying over or whatever, the dome. No, they can see in within a range, every planet within a certain range can see in. Don't ask me how. I'll have to ask him about that. But yeah, every planet within a certain range, not all of them in Gateway 10, but the ones that are around our planet, they can also see in and see what we're doing. It truly is the all-seeing eye. They clone the serial killers that they want to. They clone them. If they get a good one and they want to keep them, they clone them. And they announce that they've been arrested or that they've died, that the original, and then they send them back out under another name. Over 9 million children disappear a year. That's a base guaranteed number. Over 9 million children are disappearing each year, probably more. The reason the doctors were being killed, the holistic doctors, was because they questioned the vax. And that, them questioning the vax, threatened the success of their COVID thing. So that's why they were all being assassinated, because if they were to expose that the vax was dangerous, they would have never been able to pull the COVID thing off. Everybody would have known about it beforehand. Right now, he says in the UK, that AIDS is off the chart. Cancer is gone amok. Heart attacks off the chart. Blood clots. And in every UK hospital right now, the 2 top floors are jam-packed with vax patients, but they won't tell you about it. Talking about their videos, evidence, there are loads of videos of all of the most respected, famous people raping, murdering, and drinking the blood of babies and children. Loads of them, not just a little bit, not just a few, tons of them. The 70% of sheep are going to go immediately into denial. Most of them will. 70% are going to go, it's not them. The 70% are going to go, oh no, you're telling me that Oprah Winfrey is a guy and drinks the blood of children. No. They're going to just deny. They're just going to cling to that matrix. And then you have to explain to them, well, we don't. Somehow this got all unfold, so, they'll listen. So, but it's not even them. So this is what Christian is saying. They are all occupied by reptilians. All these famous people that are going to be exposed are all occupied by reptilians. And I wonder if we're going to get to see them shapeshift on video. Well, that's what I want to know. So I'll be asking him these things that I want to know in the next interview, but I still have part 2 to prepare for you guys. So JFK Sr. was the first one to form an alliance with the Galactic White Hats. I don't know if that's called the Galactic Federation or not, but he's saying it's with the Galactic White Hats because we should have woken up a long time ago. We were late, and it was about to go amok and drag the whole planet and half the universe down with it. And so we were late for the party, so he got the ball rolling. JFK got the ball rolling. It had gotten so out of hand that we needed help. So once he got the ball rolling and beings came and inspected the way things are and everything, or were at the time, they judged that it had gotten so out of hand that we needed more help. The thing of it is, we need more help. Yeah, we need more help, but they can't do it for us. In other words, they're bound by law, like galactic law. So they can't do it for us, and they can't come right out and tell us. We have to do it, and we have to ask for it. I know I have all constantly been thanking these entities for helping us, and I always thank them for everything good that happens to me. I go, thank you. It's not a bad thing to live in gratitude, I can tell you, because you end up being grateful a lot of the time instead of angry. But we have to do it ourselves. It's just like someone said, where's the proof? The proof is all around you, but you're not doing your own research, so you don't believe it. And if somebody shows you something, you would go, but that could be Photoshopped. No, it all could be Photoshopped, okay? There's no proof of anything if you look at it that way, because every single thing you're ever going to see could be Photoshopped or faked. So there's no proof of anything. So what you have to do is bolster your knowledge with more knowledge, and then you have to cross reference, and you have to see who's saying what, and then at some point you're going to have to use your own discretion, and you're going to have to say, well, I don't believe that, but I do believe this, and then give yourself the option to change your mind. And that's what I always do. I always say, well, that's how I'm feeling right now. That opens the door for me to change my mind. And I might change my mind because I don't have all the information. So that's our journey towards the truth. There is proof out there, but you have to have the knowledge in order to recognize it. And you get that by cross-referencing and looking up these people. If you look up Zecharia Sitchin, you can look at it this way. All disinformation agents have truth. So there's some picking to be done through it, and cherry picking the things that you think that are resonating with you. And this includes your life too. It's not just what you can find out there on the internet or in a book or wherever. It's your own experiences. You begin to come up with experiences or dreams or whatever that coincide with certain pieces of information. So it's a combination of everything that I can't do for you or nobody else can. I can put these things together in videos as they are coming together for me. And I do deep diving and deep research. And so I'm sharing that with everyone. But I'm not saying you have to believe it. As a matter of fact, you should fact check me. Everybody should fact check me, fact check Christian, fact check Blue, fact check everybody. Because that's how you get to the truth. So that's what Christian was saying. They couldn't do it for him when he started getting information. They couldn't just give it to him. He had to do it. They just pushed him and pointed him in the right direction, just like Q did for us. We weren't given anything. We were given enough to go out and look and see what we could find. And it has to be done that way. Otherwise you're not developing your own discernment, which is part of getting to the truth. So in reference to the dome, Christian said, what's about to happen in 3 to 4 weeks is beyond your imagination. And he also reiterated by saying, they want to grab the attention of 7 billion people, okay? So that's a hefty order right there. They want to really grab the attention, the total attention of 7 billion people. 7 billion people's attention they want to grab. And he says, again, there's a lot more people out there than we think that there are. They need more people. They need to lie about that. They lie about everything. That's their solution to everything. So there you go. There's a lot more people than what we think because they need to cover for their, blood harvesting. He says the Kennedys, the Trumps are positive families. And that when Kennedy was shot, the two guys in the front seat, the security guys, were actually positive ETs. So I don't know whether they infiltrated but it seems like if you had advanced technology and you could get to, they didn't suspect you of knowing or faking your death, that it would be easy for you to get two of your own people in there because they're thinking they're going to assassinate him. And you could even get a double or a triple agent involved in that. Don't know how they did it. But these security guys were positive entities, positive ETs, positive aliens. The real JFK supposedly died 2 years ago, but Christian's not sure about that. He's not sure how long, but he says that that is when JFK Jr., Diana, and Trump, and JFK Jr.'s wife, Carolyn, they all took full control. And I guess Melania's in on that too. And Barron, it seems, and Ivanka. So, you've got this whole group of people that came in and took full control after the real death of JFK. He laments that Diana was nervous because he finds, these are messages he gets or questions he asks, that Diana was nervous because she faked her own death. And even though they have looking glass and she knows everybody's going to receive her joyously, she's still nervous because she faked her own death. She's still nervous. And when I brought up the point that, everybody should know that about the sacrificing, that they meant to sacrifice her. Diana was born for that very purpose, to die on that day. And supposedly they did a ritual inside the tunnel. So I'm not sure whether that was a clone or something. I don't know. I don't know how that happened or how they pulled that off. But I'll have to ask Christian what he knows about that. But Diana was born a virgin to produce two hierarchy sons that would have eventually gone on to become representatives for Orion. And they would have been reptilian overlords here. The queen reptile, the reptile that it has been occupying the body of the queen, would have retired. And there is a planet, which I'm sure it probably doesn't exist anymore, but there is some planet where these reptiles go to retire. These, kind of, I did my job and I'm retiring to be with other hierarchies on the retirement planet. That's basically what he said. The dome, inside the dome, the one that covers us, there's an ice wall, and it's got, I don't know how thick the ice wall actually is at this point, but it's got plasma inside of it. They keep the plasma, and remember, plasma is a lot more than we think it is because they've got plasma beings. And so this is totally ancient. It's not new. We're the idiots. We're the stupid people. I think it was Alex Collier last night that said they've been in space for billions of years. So, we're not just the new kids on the block, okay? We're the other slow bus. We're just a little bit faster than our beloved dopes. Anyway, so this dome thing. Now I'll have to go over some of this with him again. But the dome that covers us, they create a blue color in it, okay? And it's an ice wall. It's 800 miles thick, but it contains plasma in between these two ice walls. And they control it through the sun and other things. They control it, the temperature of it through the sun. So, and I'll have to ask more about that. But this is there to keep us basically refrigerated. We live in a deep freeze, right? To remove the dome, they will use energy weapons. So Christian 21 saw this like an HD movie. And he was asleep and woke up from it, so he must have seen it in a dream or a vision or something. And he said it totally freaked him out. The reptilians installed a dome to be permanent. So because they installed it to be permanent, because we were a food source for them, and they weren't ever going to let us leave, it's permanently there. Okay, they can't lift it like I was thinking they were going to do. So what they're going to do is they're going to take energy weapons. This makes a lot of sense, you guys. I hate it when something massively frightening makes sense. But we want to leave, we don't want to be stuck in this refrigerator, a food source for these lizards. So the plasma in the ice reacts with the sun. They can turn the apparatus off, and I'll have to ask him how they do that. I didn't catch that part. Somehow, though, they can turn it off. And he says when it's turned off, we will have a blackout. Now, this is what I really want to get to. What are we going to see? What's going to happen? Prepare me. I want to know what to expect. So it's 800 miles thick, and they are going to totally freeze it all the way through. Then they're going to turn off this mechanism, and there will be a blackout. And he says it again, we are living in a caged fridge. There are 3 ice walls now, but it wasn't always that way. The first ice wall, and they're going to freeze it solid. The other 2 were done with tech. He's not sure. I've got not sure, and I'm going to ask him more about that. But he did say that he once saw the domes as they were approximately 1.5 million years ago, and they weren't cold like they are now. It was a lot of forestry and lush plant life and etc., like a terrarium here. And so, and in these other 2 realms, which are separated by these ice walls. And the one over us has plasma inside of it. But it's permanently installed. It's not meant to come off. So in order to get it off, what they're going to have to do is freeze it solid. And then they're going to take laser weapons. So what we're going to see, they're going to have to turn off the apparatus. We're going to have a blackout. You've got this 800-mile thick wall of ice in a dome shape that's meant to be there permanently. It's not meant to be frozen, though. It originally was meant to have the plasma inside so they could do other things like, make visions or monsters or something appear in the sky. So it wasn't always 3 ice walls, but it is now. And they have these outer layers are still filled with forestry and lush plant life and everything. And this is where they have these beings called the rainbow children. And they are South American looking. And it's slightly different. This is the second dome. And then the last dome, the one that's on top, it has a slightly different, not a lot different, but just slightly different atmosphere than the one with the rainbow children in it. And I never got a chance to ask him if there was any beings living in that one, but I'm sure there are. Also, that reptilians, the important ones, politicians, Hollywood, famous people, etc., are possessed by demons from a dark planet which lies outside of Gate 10. And this is what he's trying to say, is these demons are ancient, like billions of years old. They're extremely knowledgeable. And I think this is why the people say the reptilians are brilliant or whatever. I don't think it's the reptilians. I think it's these demons, these old ancient demons that reside on planets. I couldn't quite get if there was more than one demonic planet, but I think he said there was. This was just in private conversation. But right now, he's talking about the one right outside of Gateway 10 that controls the reptilians, and the reptilians are afraid of these demonic things. Well, the reptilians don't have any ideas. So they're also getting ideas from these demonic beings. And these demonic beings will inhabit and parasite these reptilians. So it's a hierarchy of sorts going on. And it all ends up at the door of the demon planet at this point. And these beings cannot manifest. They're not able to manifest. They can manifest. They most easily go into reptilians. David Icke talks about this, and so do a lot of other people, that these demonic entities are not physical. They cannot manifest. They have to get others to do their bidding. But if they do manifest, the very easiest way to do it is through these reptilian biology. Okay. When the dome comes down, people will see lasers, all colors. Energy weapons will cut circular openings through 800 miles of ice. Cylinders of ice will be removed cylinder by cylinder. And they will cut them with laser, energy weapons. They'll use energy weapons to cut these circular pieces out of the ice wall. Once they're cut, the ice will slowly drift out into space. And it will be a big cylinder of ice, but it will slowly, and frozen plasma, and it will drift out, because they'll do this once they, I don't know, I never got a chance to ask him, what about the other two domes? What's going on there? So I'm not sure what's going to happen I'm not sure what's happening in these other two realms, because this thing's underneath the other two domes and it has to go out into space. So I have nothing else to believe, but they will have gotten rid of the two outer domes, and these people will be somehow, shuttled off somewhere else. I have no idea. I'm just making it up now. Anyway, back to my notes. These huge circular sections all the way through 800 miles of ice. Think about that. And so we should have no questions about who built the pyramids or any of that stuff. It all came from advanced technology that these things have. And so this is what they have. They have the ability to cut through 800 miles of solid ice. And like I say, once it's unhinged from the dome, it will, and being ice and stuff, I guess they put, maybe the energy weapons are hot enough to give it a little wiggle room to where it just goes out into space, like he said. So one by one, these things are going to come off and start revealing what's really, really out there, okay? So that's what I was trying to find out. And so when they start coming out, they're going to see the lasers, and they're going to see these things. And this is what Christian said freaked him out in his dream, seeing it. These giant circular cylinders just going through. It's going to be weird, okay? Through 700 miles of ice, and then just go drifting out into space, you guys. And cylinders, plural. They're not going to be able to do it with just one big cylinder. They're going to be big, but they're going to have to do a bunch of them. And he says, I said, so is this going to take a long time? He said, no, it's going to go real fast. So there'll be no clouds. It'll be cold. They can leave bits of it on, of the dome there. Whether they will or not, he doesn't know, but they can if they want to. But once it's all cleared away, there'll be two huge motherships, because they'll be controlling the solar flash. So the solar flash is what I guess is going to melt. It's going to control it because you can't put all that stuff out into the atmosphere because there's other planets, which, by the way, are way closer than we know. So as these things suck out and go out into space, these giant cylinders, he says a lot of them will happen at once, exposing what is behind. And it'll be dark. There'll be the huge motherships. We will see Orion. You can, and he says you can reach out and touch the star system, Orion. And that the reason he's coming out, and he says all those other planets that are out there, the ones that are closest to us, you can reach out and touch them. They'll be right there. You can look at them and see them when these things start to come out. The reason he's speaking up now is because it's about to happen. He's been telling people it would happen, but after a while he just stopped talking about it. But now he's come out now in the past few years and now he's really coming out full bore because he knows it's about to happen. And again, a demonic planet is outside of Gateway 10 and it's controlling the reptilians. Everything under the dome is a lie. And it looks like an eye. So that's what we were talking about. Now we're going to get to that other planet, the next video. But I'm going to get with Laura from Laura's View and Tarot 2 sometime at the beginning of the week. Also, tomorrow, Chrissy's coming. She's going to help. My friend Chrissy's going to come and help me get my house clean and also help me get some stuff done out in the yard, which sorely needs to be done. And so, as soon as I can, I'll get the second episode up there. And yeah, I hope this helps. Now, I've got something else I want to talk about. So Paul H., you posted in the comment section, and I was just reading through them, and I saw this. As you see, it's got no thumbs up or anything. I don't know if anybody else recognized what Paul H. at 48 was saying here. Will this be what they mean by sky event in the Q drops? And I remember that, and I went here, and I didn't even have to type the whole thing in up here. Sky, EV, boom. Only two. And if you go down here, there will come a time they will not be safe walking down the street. That's a lot different from them not being able to walk down the street. Not being able to walk down the street could mean that they're so debilitated by the lack of adrenochrome that they can't even walk. Okay? Or it could mean that they've lost their shape, their human shape completely, and they can't walk down the street. This says they will not be safe walking down the street. So that's a whole different thing. And Q declares, it's Q plus, we will not be held hostage. Sky event. Where we go one, we go all. And now suddenly where we go one, we go all has a whole new meaning. It's all of us going into fifth dimensional Earth. They will not be safe walking down the street. We the people, we the people, we the people. I'm going backwards, but what I'm looking at is the sky event, all caps. Where we go one, we go all. And this is from Q+. And I almost wonder if the sky event is going to push us into 5D. It will be a shock event, probably. Well, it will be. They want the attention of, what did Christians say, like 6 billion, 7 billion people. There's more people here than we know about. And I think I don't know what the population control is, more like getting rid of a certain faction so that they can only have their slaves and their mind-controlled idiots down here. So will this be what they mean by sky event in the Q drops? Bravo. Bravo, Paul H. at 48. Yay, Paul. Yay, Paul. Yay, America. Yay, America. Yes, I think you're absolutely right. And this comes from Q Plus. And not so fast, people. There's another one. And it says executive order. Now, this all made me want to go read through those executive orders, but I don't have time. EO treason update, read. So this. It says EO treason update, read. Study the EO's executive orders. Follow the pen. EO's post pen pics. So I'm not sure if they mean only when they're talking about the executive orders and there's a picture, then pay attention to the pen pics. I never did follow that. A lot of anons did, and they found things in those pen pictures and in the reflection of the pen. It says connect, learn, sky event. Now, I'm not of a mind because already we're looking at a huge sky event. But, watch the water and all these other things. They have multiple meanings. So sky, could that be an acronym for something? Also. But I also think it means sky event because there's also been mention of the sun. In any event, I wanted to add this, and I wanted to thank Paul H. for putting that up. I'm going to be investigating sky or researching it. You guys could too, and post information about that. But I still think these have multiple meanings. But I definitely think one of them is we're going to have a sky event. Look, it's disclosure. You're not going to have disclosure without a sky event. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. I'm going to get off now and post this video. And I am signing off.